Now that the recreational use of marijuana is legal in Michigan, the race is on to see which Michigan city will be the first to take advantage of this new growth industry. If you think that city is going to be Grand Rapids, you might be in for a long wait. But as reporter McKenna Peariso reports, the Grand Rapids City Planning Commission has finally begun accepting land use applications for marijuana distributors.
So we right now will be accepting applications for transporters, secure transporters, as well as testing facilities.
More than 10 years since medical marijuana was approved in Michigan, the city of Grand Rapids is finally getting the application process started. But what took so long?
We've had medical marijuana legal since 2008, and we don't even have any dispensaries. We don't have any provisioning centers. We don't have any grow facilities. Lansing, Detroit, Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor, seeing medical marijuana businesses pop up, and then we would come home and we would see nothing in Grand Rapids, the second largest city in the state.
Grand Rapids specifically is futile in terms of patients trying to get medicine. It's become so difficult that they have to find illegal ways to obtain medicine.
In 2016, the Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, or LARA, was given 1 year to set the rules for medical marijuana facilities.
The difficulty is at the end of 17, once those rules were created, we started hearing about recreational marijuana going on the ballot. And so knowing recreational was then on the horizon, we wanted to wait so we could look at everything all together in a package.
There was a lot of waiting. You know, it was, well, let's see what happens in other cities, and let's see what the state says. And I think there was a lot of fear, to be honest. I think we're dealing with decades of reefer madness.
While the rules may be set for medical marijuana, LARA still has another year to figure out the rules for recreational.
So they have until December of 2019 to make rules for recreational marijuana facilities. So no recreational marijuana facilities will be licensed until this time next year, it's likely, depending on what the rules are.
Even with another year out, the zoning restrictions for marijuana facilities are already having an effect on the city's growing industry.
The city spent a lot of time listening to a lot of concerns, listening to a lot of advocates, and came up with some zoning requirements, some application requirements. However, the zoning is so restricted to just a few areas. And this is one of the things that we tried to warn the City Commission is the fewer the properties, the prices are going to skyrocket, right? We're seeing real estate that are in these zones go up 3 times in value.
Prices have gone up 2 to 3 times what the value of the land might be based on speculation and people wanting to go into those spaces. So we're expecting that marijuana facilities will be located 1,000 feet from schools, churches, daycares, places of worship, and rehabilitation facilities. And then for marijuana provisioning centers, that they will be distanced 2,000 feet apart. Oftentimes what we're seeing is actually a full land transaction, whether or not that property has been approved for marijuana yet.
With real estate prices skyrocketing in some areas and LARA's marijuana licensing facility fee reaching $44,000 this year, many are worried that the high cost will push out local investors.
It's designed to be able to cover the cost of administering the new law and ordinances and all the paperwork and notifications that have to be done. Rumor has it will go up to $66,000. So it's not an inexpensive business venture to enter into marijuana.
This is only going to make it better if it's done well, right? If it's not just for corporate, really wealthy people to get into this market. That's going to be the key. You know, this is a once-in-a-generation kind of opportunity. We want to see locals. We want to see people of color. We want to see women. We want to see people from the gay community. We want to see people from throughout the city. Letting locals get in early is really going to shape how this thing goes.
So the City Commission wants local ownership in the general target area, which is the center city of Grand Rapids. If somebody lives there, they get a point. If they live in the general city as a whole, they get another point. If they live within Kent County, they get a point. So they're very focused on local ownership and then also local hiring and the use of local vendors. And so all of those things can add up to determine the priority order to go to the Planning Commission.
Some are hopeful for the city's new marijuana industry, while others see a long road ahead.
The problem is that there are so few dispensaries. The state has not been very good at implementing this program. There have been 3 dispensaries in particular have been opening and closing on a regular basis because they open for a short time and the city comes in and closes them down. The same people who are going to handle recreational marijuana, which is Lara, and to me, I don't have any faith in them. I see just another 10 years of absolute absurdity.
We'll see construction activity. I don't know if you'll see businesses open. It really depends on the amount of workload that the state has.
I think it could change our city for the better, which is why I worked so hard on the proposal. I have huge hopes for the new leadership. We're in a new day between Prop 1 passing and between those 2 fantastic people being at the top of our government. I couldn't be more optimistic for 2019.
In Grand Rapids, I'm McKenna Peariso.
The city will hold the draw to begin hearing applications for marijuana provisioning centers on April 12th. The drawing will be live streamed on the city's Facebook page.